Hey, welcome to our episode of Chad's Beer Reviews, featuring IPAs with Angela. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. I mean, if I'm talking to you, like we have to review an IPA. Like that's the law, right?
100%. Yes.
So I think we got a pretty special beer tonight. This is one like all the craft beer nerds have been raving about for a while. This is from Other Half Brewing. They're out of Brooklyn, and it's just called Broccoli Double Dry Hopped Imperial IPA. Although it's only 7.9 ABV, I wouldn't really call it Imperial. And they actually list the hops on the label. It says Mosaic, Simcoe, 𝓑𝓻𝓮𝓀𝓮, Strata, Mosaic Cryo, Simcoe Cryo. And they actually make a point of saying it says does not include broccoli.
I'm sure some people think it actually does.
I know these guys, they have like a whole range of like these vegetable themed IPAs. I know they have one called kale, and there's another one called cream of broccoli, which I actually have right here somewhere. And
there's one called oatmeal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I think Other Half, like they only do like hazy IPAs.
They do. And, they're very good at it.
Yeah, if anybody's been watching my show, I reviewed the 𝓑𝓻𝓮𝓀𝓲 version of this beer about a week ago. For like they do this Freaky Friday series where like two brewers like they'll make each other's recipes to see if they can emulate it exactly or whatever. So I guess I kind of already have had this beer, sort of. But
cool.
Anyway, I'm rambling. Let's dive in. What do you get on the nose here?
Let's see. Definitely super citrusy. It's like a little tropical citrusy type of nose.
Yeah, to me it has a kind of sweet, almost like frozen orange juice concentrate kind of smell to it. But I also get like kind of like a spiciness or a grassiness.
Yeah.
Like a fresh
pine smell. Pine.
Do you get like white grape?
A little bit of white grape, and definitely the pineapple. I think it's what's making that.
Yeah.
That smell.
Almost like a Dole Whip or something like that, or a pineapple sorbet.
Yeah.
Does it smell strong to you? I mean, 7.9 is not super strong, but
it's not. But I think it is a pretty strong smell. And even when you first open the can and you're pouring it, the smell.
Yeah, it just doesn't smell. Yeah, it's strongly aromatic. I would agree, but it's not like boozy.
Oh no, definitely not.
As far as appearance, I mean, classic hazy IPA. I don't know if you call that more yellow or orange. Sorry, the lighting's not. It looks really pale white on yours.
Yeah, it does. It looks a little danky on mine, I think.
Yeah, my foam did come up to the rim here, but as always, it takes me a few minutes between the time I pour and the time we get the camera rolling and everything. So I'm pretty excited. You ready to dig in here?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers. It's pretty good.
I will say this one, yeah, it's really tasty. It didn't hit me quite as hard as I thought it was going to. I thought it was gonna be like way, like a big like punch in the face of flavor.
Yeah, it's a little dull, and I feel like you could definitely taste like a little bit of the dankiness at the end.
Yeah. Now by dank, do you mean like a kind of cannabis kind of flavor?
Kind of, just not as strong though. It's very subtle.
So I would say for an IPA, this is not that bitter. Although the hazies don't tend to be as bitter as like a traditional East or West Coast.
Right.
Like how bitter does it seem to you?
It's not too bitter. It is a double, dry hopped IPA, so it's a little bit heavier than the regular IPA, but it's definitely not as bitter as like the plain IPAs.
Yeah,
it's a good taste. It's super easy to drink.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a good beer.
I would say now that we're kind of in, and it's been when I finished pouring the can out, I noticed like there must have been like all the flavors at the bottom of the can. Because it actually tastes like better now that I have the entire can in the glass.
So fun fact, before I pour my beer, I usually either roll it I hold it upside down for a little bit before I open it so that I could get everything.
All the sediment, yeah.
Yes.
Like a German wheat beer or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, because in the past I noticed it just leaves all the residue at the bottom, and then you have everything, and you don't get to actually enjoy it.
Yeah, I think that's funny. I think Hetty Topper started that with IPAs like 20 years ago. Because I remember like it actually would say drink from the can because like all the sediment would fall to the bottom, and they didn't think that drinkers would know to like you said, like roll your can or completely tip it. You
Yeah.
know.
Yep.
Yeah, it's funny. Like I said, I just had the clone version of this one, and
What's the does it taste any different than that?
well, I can't remember like right off the top of my head. I would have to like go back and watch my review because like I've had like so many beers, you know.
Gosh, that's the tough part about drinking so many IPAs, that they kind of to taste a little similar.
But yeah, kind of like what we said before. I would definitely call this. It's pineapple-y. It has like a bit of a sweetness to it, but it's not. I mean, it's not super sweet. So it's like kind of pineapple, tropical up front. Maybe guava or passion fruit, and then when I'm finishing it, it's getting like you said, kind of like dank or grassy or spicy.
A little bitter too at the end. Like now that I'm letting it settle, it is a little bit bitter, like in the back end, but not super bitter. It's like just right.
Yeah,
You can feel a little bit of a carbonation. I feel like you could feel it on your tongue.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's as far as like body and mouthfeel, it seems a lot lighter than it is because this is 7.9, which is it's kind of like right on that border there of like between like a strong and not so strong beer. Because like 10-15 years ago, 7.9 would have been pretty huge, but like by today's standards, that's like it's kind of like run of the mill.
Yeah.
You know, like it was like
what everyone's
11.
looking for now. It's like that 7. That's a sweet spot now. Yeah, it definitely feels a little fuller at first, and then once afterwards, it is super light. Mouthfeel wise.
And like kind of in the aftertaste, like I get like this kind of like orange sherbet kind of flavor, or like orange, some kind of orange sensation. I would say this is definitely more tropical and citrus than it is spicy and grassy.
Definitely, and I don't taste the mango at all. I think it says it has mango, or maybe that's what's making that. I don't know.
Well, I mean, there's no actual fruit in it. Those are just fruit flavors you tend to get from the hops. Yeah, it says a hazy imperial IPA brewed with a hand-selected blend of hops, giving notes of pineapple, citrus, mango, and white grape. Does not include broccoli. I'm not really getting white grape though either. I mean, it kind of smells like white grape, but it doesn't really taste. I mean, maybe a little,
but not like that. No.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where the lightness comes from. I don't know if that has.
Yeah, you mean like the light flavor?
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, I think it's just like a really late boil, or because like the longer you boil the hops, the more bitter the beer is, and like these newfangled hazy IPAs, like a lot of times they don't even boil the hops; they just throw them in at the whirlpool stage, or they like just dry hop it. I mean, you're the IPA expert. I mean, that's the name of your channel or your account or whatever. How does this stack up like in like all time? Like, is this like a top 10 for you, or is this kind of like an average one or below average?
I think this is average. I do think that Other Half makes amazing IPAs. So really, anything that they put out is good. Like it's gonna be amazing, and you can actually sip on it, and it's not like a stout that you can only drink one, in one sitting, or a sour that you can only have but so many. I feel like they make very drinkable beer, so it is average, and it is something that I would just buy and actually like sip on throughout the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you had to give it a score on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you think?
I will give it probably give it a 7 or 8. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of the Nelson hops. I feel like it gives it a certain bitterness. Nelson is not my favorite, but it is a good beer.
Yeah, Nelson is the white grape hop. Yeah, if you really concentrate, you can pick it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because like I was having the same reaction as you. I'm like, this seems like a 7 or somewhere between 7 and 8, so I might go 7.5 on this one. I think I gave the toppling Goliath version. I think I gave that a solid 8.0. That one seemed like a little bit more bitter to me.
Okay.
It just seemed like stronger overall. Although I will say that the broccoli, the original, is like this is like super drinkable, especially considering that 7.9. So I'm just sucking this down like it's like a 5%er, you know?
Exactly. I'm like almost done with it. It's
Mm. Yeah, great drinkability. Maybe I should have let it warm up like a tad, because like now that it's starting to warm up and getting like a little bit more flavor. But
right.
usually like IPAs, I like to drink like pretty much at fridge temp. Although I keep my beer fridge like a little bit warmer than like a food fridge.
Oh yeah.
So it's so that like I don't have to like ideally I don't have to wait. I just like take out the fridge and pour it and it should be at a good temperature.
I
So
love my beer super, super cold.
it just
Like,
depends on the style.
yeah.
Especially lagers, I love cold, but like imperial stouts and stuff like that, I'll let them warm up a little. And Belgians.
Okay. Definitely with the Belgian, yeah.
Yeah.
With this, I feel like it's nice when it's nice and cold.
Yeah. All right, we're going pretty long, so thanks to Angela for doing this review, and check out the podcast, which I'm sure will be linked down there or up here somewhere. Somewhere around here, there'll be a link to the podcast, so check that out. And thanks for joining, Angela, and I will see you
Thank
in
you
just a
so
minute.
much for having me. It's
Yep.
been great.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Somebody brewed it. Chad just reviewed it. Thanks for watching Chad's beer review. Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.